agreements with Energy Star. As I went to the break there, I said there's free money.
Free money.
So tell us what the Home Performance by Energy Star program is about, and tell us how much free money is available for that program, and how do you get it?
Of course, the objective of the program is to make the home more efficient and consume less energy. The thought process behind that is, Texas, there's definitely a demand for power in the summer months, and at times, the demand exceeds our ability to produce the power, which causing the rolling brownouts. So it's the thought of the PUC is, well, let's pay some money to improve some people's homes so they can consume less energy, and we got to build less power plants. So basically, they've made this money available to the consumer to assist them and to improving their home building envelope, which includes the HVAC system, to make the home use less energy.
So it's a program that tests the home initially to find out what the home's attributes are. So
exactly, there is a test-in phase that an approved and trained auditor comes in and tests the home.
yeah, so this isn't a process of just going in and looking around and going, oh, you need insulation by the insulation guy, right? This is a whole house system approach, beginning with a testing process, which is pretty comprehensive. And you guys are a participating contractor in this Home Performance by Energy Star program.
Yes, it's quite comprehensive. You're correct. I mean, they start out usually with the blower duct test, and we test the duct system, see how leaky it is. And from there, we look at the appliances to see, how much energy they're consuming, whether they're natural gas or electric. We look at the insulation values. We look at them physically where we can see them with the eyes in the attic. Where we can't see them, we check it with an infrared camera and look for missing building cavity insulation. We can see that with the camera. And we check the home infiltration values with the blower door, which puts the entire house into a negative pressure, so we can see how loose is this house. How often is the outdoor air coming in and exchanging with the indoor air? And is there any abnormal gaps in the building envelope that's allowing this air to come in too frequently?
Yeah, so any holes that maybe the homeowner doesn't know that are there, but are causing problems. It's putting an additional load on the HVAC system. It's bringing humidity. It's bringing dust and allergens and particulates into the home as well. So you really want to minimize that leakage like that.
Especially from the attic, because that's the filthiest environment every residence has, and you don't want that air coming into your house. I mean, like we talked about earlier, it's it's insulation particulates, it's rodent feces particulates, it's a nasty environment. You do not want that infiltrating into your home. And we found, a lot of people, that's where the allergies really coming from. And we've seen people who've installed, indoor air quality products and only had, minimum success with those indoor quality products. And the reason being is, it's got such a certain rate of removal capacity, but the capacity that it's infiltrated in from the attic is much greater than the removal capacity of the indoor air quality device. So, I mean, yeah, it's a partial success, but not a total success until you eliminate the source.
So if somebody's listening right now and they're wondering, okay, we first identified that they need to be in the center point electrical service area in order to qualify, number one, for this particular rebate program. And we're going to talk about those rebates and give them an idea of what kind of rebates are available. But first off, they have to be there, right? That's
Exactly.
the first
It has
thing.
to be a center point power provider.
Okay, and then the house has to be how old?
The house, basically, there's no restrictions on the age of the house. There is a restriction on the age of the HVAC system if they're looking to replace it, which basically indirectly means the house should probably be greater than 10 years old.
Right. So I'm thinking 10 years old makes a lot of
Exactly.
sense. I think that's the direction that I believe they were thinking when they adopted the program initially. So the house needs to be 10 years old. HVAC system is one of the biggest components in this. So from a rebate standpoint, there's dollars associated with replacing the HVAC system if that's the items that are rebatable.
The items that are rebatable. Well, we've talked about air conditioning, and of course that's top of the list. And If their existing air conditioning system is 12 SEER or lower, or if it's just failed, that's a qualification, or if it's greater than 8 years old, that's a qualification. So they can qualify that component, and depending on its tonnage and replacement SEER value, it's a sliding graph of how much money they get on that component. But just to pull an example, probably a 3.5 ton 16 SEER would be a good example, and the rebate value for that is $650 alone.
So, and that's just one component. Now, the duct system is another component here as well, as far as achieving rebates available for that too. And I can tell you, over the many years that I've been doing the radio show, one of the things I hate to hear is a caller calling in and some air conditioning company has replaced their air conditioning box, so to speak, their indoor and outdoor box, and they didn't address the duct system, because as we were talking about a while ago, average home 15 to 20%, we're seeing homes with 50% duct leakage. I can't imagine why somebody would want to replace that system without addressing the duct system. So one of the items, obviously, from a reduction of energy consumption in this program is the duct system as well, isn't it?
That's correct, and it's actually one of the strongest rebate of items, because the Energy Star program, people who wrote the program realize how important it really is. Because like you said, I mean, if you had an old 4-ton air conditioning system and you were blowing 20% of the capacity in the attic, well, if you went back with a new duct system, you really don't need but a 3.5 ton. And it would work, a whole lot more efficiency. You get the SEER gain, you get the duct system efficiency gain in regards to sealage and R value, because most of those old ducts are R4, the new ones are R8, and the rebate value of that component is $1,200.
So there's an additional. So we just keep adding